Grahame, thanks for coming in today. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm happily married of 27 years, got 5 children. I work at the linen service in Tamworth. Been there for almost 29 years. So, been there a long time and seen a lot of upgrades and improvements and, technology. So I've had to progress with technology.
Okay. And let's just go right back to school and tell us, what was school like for you?
School wasn't a very nice environment, pleasant environment. When it came to reading and writing, it was either you could do it or you didn't, and the teachers really didn't care. They you'd be sitting there reading around the class, and when it was your turn, if you struggled, they just go next. So virtually I sort of give up after that.
And did you get any particular help at school? Were you in a big school?
In a large school. From where I come from, I grew up in a place called Woolbrook in Congai Station, which kindergarten to year 6 was one class. And then I went from one class of 25 kids from kindergarten to 6, grade 6, to 8 to 1,000 kids at South Primary.
Wow,
in
that was a
Tamworth.
massive change.
It's a big jump.
Yeah. And did you have any other things going on at school that might have impacted how you were feeling about school and learning?
I had older siblings that went to school prior to me going, so more so in high school I was known as Neville, one of the Neville boys.
Okay.
They had a bit of a name prior to me going there. That didn't help. Oh, you're one of those Neville boys.
Oh, okay, so there were some expectations already.
There was some not good karma about the name Neville.
And when did you leave school? How far did you go?
I went to the first term of year 10 and they were changing the high school certificate, and I looked at it and went, Mum went, go get a job.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't learning anything.
And is that when you went into the laundry service?
No, actually, my first major job was a petrol boy, pumping petrol. So going out to customers, asking how much they wanted, checking their oil, their water, and filling up cars.
Oh, and did you have to do any reading and writing in that sort of job?
No, it was numbers.
Okay.
Then I worked for 5 years at Woolworths as a trolley boy for 3.
Yep.
And worked at Max Liquor for 2
Oh, okay.
in the bottle shop.
And was most of that about the maths side of things,
Numbers.
handling money?
Yes, handling money, numbers, doing price tags, changing signs. So how I got around that was if I had a special signs, and I'd just marry up the words to the bottle.
Oh, okay.
So if I had a bottle of Shutter and Under brandy, I know I'd go find the sign, so I'd match them letters up.
Right.
So that's how I got around that.
A good strategy.
Well, improvising.
Yeah. And so when you started work at the laundry service, has that changed over time?
It has. I started as a hospital assistant grade 2, and it was very physical. You lugged linen bags, thrown up the line, get sorted, hand weighing all the linen, pushing trolleys around, to this is over, I've been there nearly 29 years, so technology's evolved to the point where everything's weighed, calculated, technology's touch screens, computers, which is all numbers, but then over the time period I've progressed into a supervisor's role, which is now more emails, writing, looking at SWP, safe work practices, assignments, assessments, growth and development stuff. So it becomes more hands-on writing and reading for myself.
And so do you think those demands have changed just because you changed roles, or has the job changed?
I think over the years that I didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. I think it's always been there. But now, with the technologies, with numbers and that was all fine. But now it's on the other side doing more paperwork and computers, and it's always been there. I never really had to worry about it. As a supervisor, if something had to be written down, I delegate.
Okay.
So I get someone else to say, oh, can you just jot that down? But that's not happening anymore.
And so is that what prompted you to go and get some assistance with your literacy?
I had a light bulb moment, not last Christmas, the Christmas before, just before that, and realised I had to do something for myself. For me to progress further up the food chain, as they say, I had to do something for myself. And so I got the ball rolling.
And you had tried some courses in the past, hadn't you? Tell us what happened with those.
I tried some in the past, and the classes weren't as big, but it just felt like I was back at class. And there was no interaction, no personal, no feelings. It's just like, do this, do that, next. I tried several different times, but there was no.
So did it feel like you were back at school, or did you feel like you were trying a new experience in adult education on those times?
It felt like I was back at school. I was expecting a bit more hands-on, person-to-person, sort of getting a bit more out of it, and then just going, write that down, do that, and then I'll have a look when I come back.
So it must have been really difficult then to take the step to have another go after you'd already had those experiences where you felt like you were just being treated again like as if you were at school. So how did you feel when you went back for the last time?
It was funny because I was I've got a lovely wife, and I said, I want to do this. And we discussed everything. And she said, you're going to stick to it this time? Because I didn't stick to it before. And I said, yes, I am. I said, I had this feeling I had to do something. So work has been very helpful. I had a lovely secretary that got in contact with the community college and arranged a meeting and like an assessment. And it's just gone from there.
So part of the difference sounds like you were ready to take another step. But what was it like this time with the experience? Did you feel again like, oh no, I'm back at school, here we go? Or were you treated differently this time when you went in?
I was nervous as all buggery. I was. But I drove into the car park and I said, no, turn it back now. And it's a nice old building where they do it. And I walked in and everyone was very welcoming. How you going? Your name and that, and oh yeah, such and such is waiting for you, we'll let them know. And they were very welcoming. They welcomed me with open arms. And it was very calming. I was just like walking into someone and just, they're looking at you going, yeah, what can we do for you? You know, from the moment I stepped foot in the door, there was comfortable.
Right, so that's really interesting. So that very first impression was important, even though it wasn't your teacher that you're meeting at that point.
No, it wasn't my teacher. It was just the ladies at the front desk, and there was 5, I think. And with COVID, hand sanitizer and masks and all that other stuff, and did the temperature test, and just really lovely.
Yeah.
So that was a good feeling. That was the start.